I say go f yourself.
I say, okay, good. That's good. I'm glad to see the feminine is fully developed in you.
I'm about 99% masculine.
99%? Wait a second. Move over. Move over. I just want to see this. I just want to get a closer look. 99% masculine.
Yes.
Look at the state right now. Is this your idea of masculine?
No.
No. Oh, this is the 1% that shows up every now and then?
Yes.
I see. It shows up when a masculine energy shows up. Then she goes back feminine.
Incel community. These are people who consume content like from Andrew Tate and the Whatever podcast and Fresh and Fit and all this kind of stuff. And those are podcasts that when we take a look at the content that they're creating, they are pretty explicitly violent and misogynistic towards women, but also like they're creating this conversation of like, you're not a real man if you don't this and this, and it's like just not progressive. It is creating a disconnect between what men are experiencing right now and being told to just like man up and like get your money up and get your body up, and it's like that's not helpful.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and they just gonna go kicking and screaming, I see, with these objections to these podcasts. Now, I think I made a video and I stated before that I don't do necessarily what Andrew Tate does, because him and the Whatever podcast and any other red pill podcast, I don't do those kind of podcasts, because as a man or as a person of any kind, you should know what you want in a mate. And if a woman is hell-bent on being promiscuous or progressive or a feminist, that if that's not your type, you don't choose them, right? It's like beating a dead horse, no pun intended. As far as them going as far as saying that it's going to be or it's misogynistic, or which I think is a loosely thrown around term, you're just gonna have to deal with it. What they're actually teaching is progressive. It's teaching men how to not focus on women as being the prize, but focus on themselves, because once you focus on yourself, get in shape, women will be attracted to you if you're in shape. If you look like a blob of ice cream, you ain't gonna get chose up on. It's just what it is. If you're broke, it's gonna make it hard for you to attract a mate, because, well, you don't have the potential to take care of them or a family, which is paramount to, if you're gonna have kids, you need to have the ability to take care of not only just yourself, but also offspring and a mate, right? And these young chicks, they just not getting the memo. They think that men hate them because they want a traditional woman that's not loose and ran through, which couldn't be further from the truth. No man wants a woman that's been ran through. Just what it is, right? I didn't make the rules. I didn't set the rules. It's how it is, how it always is. And it seems like nowadays these young chicks, they out here freestyling it. They want a man to be a slave. They want a man that's going to give them the luxuries of life, allow them to do whatever they want, and not have any objection to it. That is the definition of a slave. If I go through the motions of busting my ass to provide for not only you, but a possible child or a family, there's certain things that you got to adhere to, like not being loose, not doing OnlyFans, not questioning my leadership. Like, these are things that, I'm sorry, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't recreate the wheel. You can't say that you don't like something, and to say that it's misogynistic because you don't like it because it actually doesn't fit your narrative or go into your ulterior motive. Cry me a river. It is what it is. This comes from not having structural family principles and norms and values instilled as a child going into the free world. Either that, or they're disregarding those family norms, values, and things that were installed or instilled, and they're trying to go off into the world and deviate from what they've been told, and it's not helping them. It's not conducive. They're not getting chose up. So yeah, they're gonna have objection to it because it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't help them out. It doesn't help them manipulate a man into being a simp. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can either get with the program or you cannot. In the words of Benny Siegel, you could get down or lay down. Clearly, they're not choosing to get down. They are laying down, but it's not helping them. And they now, everybody with a microphone is going on to social media, including the women, right? They always talk about everybody shouldn't have a microphone to be a podcaster. And that's not just men. It's women too. It's women that want their cake and eat it too. And they're seeing that, yeah, it's just not going in your direction. You're not getting shows up on. And no matter how much pushback you give, it's not gonna help your cause. You're still gonna be left out in the cold. You're still gonna be ignored, because for a long time, I'd have to say since 2016, for the last decade, they've been allowed to, actually I'll say until since OnlyFans, the rise of OnlyFans and the rise of social media saturation, that women are now coming to the realization that, like, all the things that their parents or their mom was doing to their dad or to simps that met their mom is just not flying. The guys are waking up. Now, me personally, I come from a generation where I didn't have to wake up. I was instilled with this, and although I didn't grow up with my father the majority of my life, I lived with him probably the tail end of my teenage years. I moved with my dad when I was 15 to about 18, and he instilled values in me. So when I graduated and moved into the real world, away from his household, I had a brain on my shoulders, right? He gave me game. A lot of these dudes either don't have the dad in the household or the dad is a simp. So they wasn't given the game in the last, 15 years. And now that the rise of social media and social media saturation of men podcasters that are red pill, the likes of whatever podcast, Andrew Tate, red pill, blue pill, Tommy Sotomayor, hell, even Tariq Nasheed used to do the Mac lessons. They put guys on game, which is, don't buy into the whole theory that the woman is your end all be all. Focus on you. Once you get your money right, you can go to war. In the words of Tupac from Machiavelli album, said, can't go to war till I get my money right. Got my money right. Got to go to war. It just is what it is. Not only that, they're starting to see that, the realization that once men got their money right and their body right, and I wouldn't even take it as far as saying you got to get your money right. If you get your body right, that signals to a woman that you have some type of discipline and some type of, like, you're not easily led, right? That you have some type of structure, and they can't pull that shit. But if you got your money right, in my 43 years of living, that you get your money right, I've seen women follow suit, listen to a man, adhere to leadership, be submissive, and all that jazz once the man got his bread right. They come in like folks. I don't know what it is. I knew a few dudes that, you know what I'm saying, either made 100,000 or was millionaires. When they said something, it was law. They didn't push back. There was no resistance. They complied. And at the end of the day, most of these women, especially the younger Gen Zs, they feel like submitting or complying to a man's leadership is some form of oppression. I had to tell my sister about a decade ago. She was talking about her husband. He's oppressing me. Oppressing you is when he's keeping you from something. This man is not keeping you from something. He's keeping you from harming yourself, from mismanaging money, from going out there and becoming a promiscuous, loose woman that's going to stale his reputation. I feel like if a man isn't asking you to, if a man isn't asking you something that's out of the ordinary, like sell your body or do drugs or become a criminal or sell your kids on the black market, I feel like if he's not leading you down a ditch or into a ditch, that you should listen to him. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're married. Man asks you to make dinner or to clean the house. Those are things that even without a man you should want to do, right? You should want to feed yourself and not spend excessive money going out to eat frivolously. You should want to keep the house clean because you're not nasty. You should want to keep good hygiene because not only does it keep you healthy, but as a woman, it's revered, it's admired. How many times have a guy got with a woman and she don't keep her house clean and her body, certain parts are dirty, or she got stank ass breath? Those are turnoffs, deal breakers. So I told her, I said, if your man isn't leading you into a ditch, you should want to listen to him. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not being oppressed. It's not being misogynistic. And I feel like a lot of people, namely the younger women, have heard this word misogyny and have just taken and ran with it. I did tell a woman a few months ago, actually, if you're not a trained clinician, stop using clinician terms. Stop using words like homophobia, misogyny. I'm pretty sure there's other ones. Stop using these terms to label people narcissistic. Stop using terms that you hear somebody on social media say and you think that's applicable to your man, especially if you're not a psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, or counselor. You should not be using those terms. If you feel like that's what's going on, you should want to go to therapy and have a trained clinician diagnose him, not come to your own conclusion and that's what it is, because a lot of people hear shit that sounds hot and then they want to run with it and you're far off the mark. In any event, if this has been helpful, educational, informative, or even enlightening, like, comment, and subscribe. Click the link if you'd like to support the machine so that I can grow, give you more frequent content, or at the very least, just hit the damn like button so that I'm in the algorithm. And I'm out.
No.